I just needed so much more. I don't know, is it just me? I needed so much more than what they gave me this week. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshine? We are reviewing The Chi, season number 1, episode number 8, Whistle. You know, I had it wrong last week, right? My numbers was all off, but I think I'm right now. Whistle is episode number 8. And I'm going to go back to how I'm comfortable reviewing. You know, I was giving you guys like play by play, but I really like to go character by character. And this is one of those shows that I can actually do that with. So let's just get right into it. Let's not start with Quentin, since even though he started off first, let's not start with Quentin. Let's start off with Kevin and the gang. When we first see them, we see Kevin on the phone with Papa. Papa at the house, honey, doing some whittling, some woodwork. Honey got his gospel music going on. And Papa was in his zen moment. Papa is the nerd of the group. He is brilliant. And all through this episode, he reminds us that he is brilliant, beautiful, and going places, okay? And so Kevin, when he calls Papa, and I so like that early on they are learning the importance of brotherhood, of community, of checking up on one another and keeping each other in line. Kevin calls Papa and says, "What's up with your boy Jake?" You know, Papa says, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Him and the gun, we need to have a talk. We need to see what's going on with him. We need to make sure he's okay and that he's safe. Pretty much, let's find out. Let's hold an intervention. Come over to the house. Bring Jake with you, and we're going to play some games, and we're going to bring that shit up, plain and simple." And I really do admire that. So they get over to the house, and they're playing the game. And it comes up. He's all like, "Okay, well, what do you need the gun for? What's going on with you? What are you doing?" Jake is in his feelings like, "Why y'all tripping? Why y'all checking on me? I'm about my money. I'm rolling with my brother. I'm about my money. You know, I'm learning the ropes." Papa straight up say, "You fucking sound stupid." And the mama overhears them and is all like, "Stanley?" Honey, his name is Stanley. Papa's name, I love it when you call me Big Pop, but it's Stanley. I realize that that's probably why they call him Papa. So as mother wishes, they go to the store. And when they're in the store, I mean, they like real friends. Y'all don't remember having these conversations. Y'all still had these conversations with your homegirls, with your homeboys. And he was like, "So is it weird that your mama is having 2 mamas? And what do you call your other mama?" He's all like, "I call her Karen. And it's not weird because she's all I've known. She's been around since I was a baby. So no, it's not weird. And well, have you ever seen both your mamas naked?" You know, and that's weird. It's weird for Papa to ask that. And they look at him and he was like, "Well, shit, I seen my mama and it wasn't what I expected." It wouldn't be. Mamas are really the most unattractive thing to their children, okay? But on this whole list, there are some tampons that needs to be picked up. And all it says is tampons. And I don't know if I would send my 12, 13-year-old son to the store to buy me a box of tampons and just write the word tampon. Because I explained to them what it is, you know, menstrual is and all this stuff. I want to be the one to let you know. So I probably would have been like, "I need you to get me some OB tampons, some Tampax regulars, some Tampax slender, some stay free maxi pads, always maxi pads, you know, super long overnight. Whatever it is you buy, you got to be specific, mamas, if you're going to do it." And do y'all feel like it was a little embarrassing? Some people might have thought that was inappropriate for the mother to do, but why? Because eventually he will have to do it for his girlfriend, his daughter. So then now they're walking home from the store, and then Kevin starts to confront Jake again about carrying a gun, about, you know, telling him we're worried and concerned. We just want you to be safe. And I didn't know that Papa didn't know that Kevin shot Ronnie, because Jake blew the whistle. Man, you shot a man. Like, I'm just carrying a gun. You shot somebody. And Papa's hurt, rightfully so. Like, we friends. You ain't even tell me, like, how this go down, bro. At least real friends, we don't have secrets. And I kind of understand why he didn't say anything, because of course you don't want it to get out the bag. You don't want it to come back, the police to be like, oh, you shot somebody or whatever, if the man ended up dead. You know, and of course I'm looking out for your safety. But I don't know. Would you have told your friend? I think I would have told my, if I had a trio like that, both of them would have known. Let's talk about Brandon, okay? When we first see Brandon, we see him waking up at Jerica's house and she's standing in front of him. And really, it's Jerica and Brandon's house. Or did Brandon move in with Jerica? Like, did he got put out of the house that they shared together, right? That wasn't her place. Anyway, so he's sleeping on the couch. And she's standing in front of him with her coffee in hand. Said, you know, he's uncomfortable with the couch and blah, blah, blah. Some little small talk. And she made breakfast. You can see that he actually loves her. He, you know, people might be like, he's simping, he a wuss, whoop, whoop, whoop. Love, honey, love. And when you really want to be with somebody and you're interested in somebody, will cause you to make a fool of yourself, because it's not something easy to walk away from. I admire that about him, and I'm glad that they showed that a black man can still be strong. He ain't a wuss. Because I love you, I need to prove it. I'm sorry, even though I really think that this whole thing with, you know, Jerica was blown out of proportion on her end. And maybe that's because I'm a hood girl. I don't know. And so they kind of discuss it a bit, and he says, I'm sorry, and it's not what you think. And he had already explained it to her. We saw. And my thing is, the moment that he explained it to her, she should have had a light go on. And yeah, you still be a little mad, but you really should be mad at yourself, because if he had talked about it, if you had allowed him to talk about it before, you wouldn't be in this place. Maybe you could have seen things from his point of view for once, because it wasn't his fault. He was there. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, he had a brawl with Ronnie, but he's not the one that pulled the trigger. Anyway, I think that she carries it too far. Like, girl, pull up. You know you love him too. You can see it in her eyes. So she says, they talk about him quitting his job. Well, you quit your job. Is that part of the plan? And I'm all like, girl, I understand sometimes we do be looking like, did you make a wise decision? Absolutely. It's not my responsibility to have fired Louise. They put me in and they put me in a bad situation, and you have to stand up for something. And that's the one thing that he stood up for. Like, I'm not going to be party to that. Like, I can figure it out. You know, because she talked about, well, this is all you talked about and all you wanted, and this is your dream. Well, baby, encourage him to go get his dream somewhere else, because now she's all like, well, what's the plan? Because, you know, you ain't got no plan. I don't want to be with you. I know we going some places, sisters, and we want them to go somewhere too. We want them to come along and have their own journey too. But listen, don't go shutting him out. I mean, our job is to uplift and encourage. I'm just talking. I need to talk about the show, but I'm really giving my opinion, and I really like doing that better than anything else. Well, she says, if you sell this house, then you have some money. You need to go talk to Verna. Well, we see him at Verna's house and he signs the papers. I guess he understands and see things like, I do need to help be able to hold my own. And in order to do that, I need some cash. I ain't got no job. Let me go sell this house. Let me go sign these papers, because the inspector is coming today to look at the house and appraise it, right? And then we see the banter between Greasy, that ain't his name. Greasy, that ain't his name. Y'all know. The husband and his mama. And they're playful and cute, and it looks like love. We know next season some shit gonna hit the fan, right? We do know that, right? We do know that, right? Like, it's inevitable. Like, next thing we see him go to visit his cousin. Like, I am super attracted to that chocolate-skinned brother, and I need to find out what his name is, his real name is. But we see him go to visit his cousin to try and get a loan so that he can start his food truck business, right? And they're in there talking, and the cousin is very intelligent. He knows that you need multiple streams of income in order to make shit happen. He knows that you need to have a business plan. Honey, he knows so much so that he's got an Asian man staying in his closet named Mr. Wu and speaks a little Chinese or Korean, or what did he say? He spoke Japanese, because he said, when you say good morning, And I forget right now, when I worked for Toyota, they used to greet everybody in Japanese, and I can't think of what it's called right now. But anyway, what he said when he greeted him with good morning, you can tell me down below. But you know that he's an entrepreneur, and he ends up saying, okay, cause my capital is sewn up and other stuff, but let me call some people and see what I can do to get you this money. I rock with you. So I do want to say this. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever felt like Brandon? Like, have you ever been in a place in your life where you felt like Brandon? Like, I need something of my own. I need you to help me. I need something of my own, something tangible. Shit, I ain't got no place to live. That we selling my grandfather's house where I grew up at. I don't have shit of my own. And right now I don't have nothing. So I need something. Like, I can relate to that. And my heart, you know, palpitated and tinged just a little bit for him because I really want this to work out for him. For him to be happy that something's going right and not wrong. So then we see them at the junkyard because the cousin reached out to his people, and I imagine the people is who found this ice cream truck with the long ass tongue that says lick it, lick me. It said lick it. It didn't say lick. It didn't say lick me, but it was, you know, run down. But honey, when you have a vision and you have a budget, you can make anything work. And I think that he's happy about it. He was ecstatic. And it was good to see him happy for once out of these last few episodes, because he's been in a downward spiral. We see him pull up at Jerica's house, right? And I'm just expecting her to be all just stank attitude, ugly. Evidently, I'm not a fan of Jerica's anymore. Like, I'm hoping that my feelings towards her change, because it just seems like she's too shallow. And are you in this with me or not? Or do you love me? Are you really, is it that easy for you just to walk away from me? You got some other dude up at the block party. Like, is this easy for you? Like, it just rubs me the wrong way. Well, then she seems relatively happy for him. He does that whole pleading thing, you know, I'm not going to do it again. You know, this was a mistake. This isn't who I am. I want this food truck to work. And she's like, I know. And they embrace, and then they go, he picks her up. They go into the nasty, dirty truck from the junkyard that he ain't cleaned out yet. And she gonna give him a little. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a little freaky. And if I had a man and I'd be like, let's christen it. But let me sit on your shirt. Or put your shirt up here so I can hold on when we go doggy style. I don't know, something. But that, because that trunk was nasty. Y'all seen it in the junkyard. You know what? I really wasn't moved that much by Q's story, by Quentin's story this time. So let's talk about Quentin, because I wanted more. This is where I wanted more. Like, really? This is where I needed more. I needed them to give me more than what they gave me. But I guess if they gave it to me all, what would we have left for the last 2 episodes of the season? Well, when the show starts, we see them in Sonny's restaurant. And Sonny's still laying on the floor. Q's sitting in front of Reg. Reg is all like, you know, oh man, where the guns at? You think this a game? Blase, blase. And Q's sitting there calm as a cucumber, cool as a breeze. I mean, I'd be a little shook up. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, how you so cool and calm and collected, and I got this gun pointed in your face. But we know that Q is not to be played with. Reg has no clue. Well, Sonny gets up from being knocked out and knocks the shit out of him, right? Gun drops to the floor. Q gets up and, hey, you all right, Sonny? Honey, Sonny points the gun directly at his brother and says, I need you to get the fuck out of my establishment. Get this piece of shit and get the fuck out of my establishment. It was a turn I wasn't looking for. I guess Sonny's a little fed up with his brother's gangster bullshit. I run the world bullshit. He tosses that whistle, the whistle that was symbolic of the hard work that their father put in at him, and says, get the fuck out. He was like, well, I need to call, is it Tibbs? Is it Tep? I can't never. Tip, Tabs, and JB. Y'all tell me what the other one's name is. I know one is JB, the other one is Tibbs, Teps, Tips, something. And I need to get him out of here. But he's all like, I'm not, you know, and Q's all, don't point the gun at me. Come on, it's cool. He was like, no, I don't think you hear me. Get the fuck out of my establishment. I don't want you here no more. Like, I'm all like, all right, little brother. Is he the little brother? Well, evidently, Tep and JB came, honey, and moved Reg's unconscious body to Reg's house. Now, how the fuck you finna go up in somebody's establishment, finna do some dirt, and you got your wallet on you? That's some bullshit. Everybody knows you ain't supposed to have your wallet with your ID, and you ain't with any kind of form of identification on it. Your credit cards, your ATM cards, your driver's license, your identification, your social, none of that should be on you. You shouldn't have your wallet. Maybe you need a little cash, right? So you have some cash, and you don't have your cell phone on you. Everybody knows. Only people that don't know is squares, is lames. And evidently, y'all know I must not really be too lame or square because I know what it is. That you ain't supposed to do, okay? Anyway, carry on. So we are in Reg's house, and we're sitting sitting around the table. Q is asking Reg, who do you live with? Reg is saying nobody, but you see Jake's backpack there. You can see that he's being shifty and shit. So why you keep looking at the door? What's going on? And anyway, while we're sitting there, the purpose of Q's visit is not to kill Reg, because he could have been dead already, but to find out who Trice's connect is, who killed Jason, and what he knows about him. And Reg soon finds out that Q was the big man in charge. He had to leave, and he left Trice. Said, hey, I'm going to let you be the big man. I'm going to show you the ropes. This is now your territory. You handle it. But so they're sitting there, and he's asking him about Wallace and Jason, and Reg is like, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know Jack. They in their house, they done made themselves comfortable, honey. Tips, whatever his name is, goes into the kitchen, honey, and makes them some Italian kind of pasta, like some kind of spaghetti noodle or some shit. Maybe it wasn't spaghetti, but it was a noodle with some red sauce, okay? I don't know if they had meat in their spaghetti or what, but nonetheless, they take over his house, and they sit. And now we sit at the table, and he's constantly, Reg is looking at the clock like, fuck, Jake's gonna walk in any minute. Fuck. Well, who walks in? Jake. Jake leaves Kev and Papa and goes home. And when he walks in, to his surprise, you got these thugs sitting up in the house, these old thugs sitting up in the house. Brother's face is all busted, split with a butterfly stitch on it. You know, one of them tape butterfly stitches you get from the drugstore. CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, them kind of, thrifties don't exist no more. Anyway, you see him there, and he looking nervous. And, so Q's all like, you do got something to lose. That's your little brother. And gives a silent, low-key threat. Gets up and say, hey, young blood, I need you to do something for me. Gets up with the knife in his hand. Reg is visibly shook. Jake is fucking shook. Jake, you 12, 13 years old. You want to be hard. You want to act hard like your brother. You ain't, okay? So he walks up to him real close up on him with the knife forward, pointed edge out, and walks, I need you to just, and then he flips it over and tells him to put it in the sink for him. Sigh of relief even for me. I'm all like, please don't kill the little 13-year-old boy. I can't handle that. But we know that that's not the kind of guy Q is. All things considered, with him giving the guns back and all that, he's a different kind of gangster, right? Strong arm. Is it just drugs? What was he dealing in? Because evidently the guns wasn't his thing. Was he dealing in hoes and bitches? What was his thing that he was dealing in? So then he tells him out loud, we'd hate anything, if we want you to be around or some shit. We don't want nothing to happen to your brother Jake, right? So tell us about Wallace. Sings like a bird. He says, tell me about the kid that got killed. He's all, honestly, we don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about none of that. Nobody is saying nothing. I don't know nothing. Q whispers some shit. He, okay, I'm getting ready to make my exit. Q pulls Reg close to him, whispers some shit to him in his ear. When I tell you that nigga was shook, I was like, he said something like, I'm gonna kill you and your brother. And I'm blow up your house. I'm gonna go get your daddy killed. I'm gonna find your mama, kill her too, because we found out that the daddy is in prison upstate, and the mama ain't nowhere to be. And the mother is nowhere to be found, nowhere to be around. Is she on drugs? Did she just leave them? It's a theme that's happening. Let's talk about Emmett. and Emmett, of course, is his mother, Jada. So they lumped into one little clump. So when we see Emmett, last time you remember, Tiffany came and got her baby. Out the blue, bitch, come get her baby. Okay? It felt like he had EJ for months, not just 2 weeks, we find out later on. Anyway, so Emmett's chilling, looking at his phone, and Jada walks in and has a heart-to-heart and says, hey, where's EJ? What's going on with him? Have you heard from his mother? You can't just, Emmett talks about, I need a vacation. I've been pushing the stroller and this and that, all these two. I just need a vacation. And she breaks it down to him. Having your son is not a job. You treating it like it's a job. It is not a job. It actually is rewarding when the end comes, but it is not a job. It is not a chore. It is a choice that you made. So you need to live up to that choice and take care of your son. I didn't do that to you while my friends was hanging out. I mean, how many of us can relate to that? How many? Raise your hand if you can relate to that. Raise your hand down below. Use that little emoji. Because I want to know if you can relate to that or not. Because I know I can. Shit, everything gets put on hold for your children to raise your children. Then we see Jada kind of downplay the loss of her job. Like, they wasn't giving me my hours. I got let go or whatever. But we know she got fired and we know why she got fired. But that ain't some shit you want to share with your child because you don't want your child to worry. I think about my 21-year-old. He always wants to worry about me. I got this. I've been doing this all your life for 21 years. I got this, boo. I don't care how hard it looks. I got it. And that's pretty much the message that Jada is giving. Then we see her go over to Miss Ethel's. And I'm all like, why is she over here? And she gets an opportunity to tell Miss Ethel that I'm not your caregiver anymore. And she doesn't take it. Like, how does that end up affecting their relationship? Because tomorrow, the next day that she's supposed to be there. So let's say it's Monday. On Tuesday, she's supposed to show up on her regular day. And the agency is going to send someone else. What then? So is Jada planning on being there so she could tell them, oh, you won't be needed. She hired me on the slide, on the side. Like, y'all tell me what y'all think is going to happen. Because I need to know. I really think that she needs to tell Miss Ethel she had the opportunity and she didn't take it. And she should have told Miss Ethel because of Miss Ethel is the reason why she kind of lost her job. But it's not because of her, but what she asked her and the decision that she... So then we see Keisha and Emmett hanging out in the park and he feeding her French fries. Look like they're from McDonald's French fries. And all of a sudden, he starts thinking about Emmett, or she mentions EJ or whatever. And he's all like, I need to go. Let me go. Come go with me to the girl Tiffany house so I need to talk, find EJ. Keisha's all like, fuck you and take me on a real date. I mean, would y'all have accepted that little, he bought one Big Mac meal and they sat in the park. Would you have accepted that as a date? Now, I'll take a date picnic. I would take a picnic date in a heartbeat, but don't come with no damn one McDonald's meal. They only in their 20s though, so he don't know no better. So I guess maybe that's okay. Yeah, I'm kidding myself. So then he goes. He tries to call her and she ain't answering. So that's when he's all like, come go with me. He gets there and the mama is giving him all kind of flack. All kind of flack. What you doing here? Why are you here? Instead of just saying, oh, I'm glad to see you and you want to step up. She's all, oh, so you a digital daddy? Where your other two kids at? Just being real ghetto mama-ish. And she's all like, Tiffany said don't tell her nobody where she is. But she didn't say anything about little Emmett. So he tells her, she tells him, we then see him go over to where Tiffany resides. And it's disheartening that the door is wide open. Honey, y'all live in Chicago. That's like living where I live. I ain't finna leave my door unlocked for motherfuckers just to walk in. He just walks in. Not only does he walk in, but there's EJ sitting on the floor like 2 feet away from the door. He's calling her name and she ain't coming right out. Like, who the fuck in my house? Like, somebody could have picked up that baby and walked right out the house. Call DPSS, Department of Social Services, right now. The CPS, Child Protective Services Division. Like, bitch, your door is closed and you ain't even moving when there's another nigga's voice up in the house. Well, he's all like, I came for my son. I want to see my son. And she goes off on him. Well, give us child support. I've been doing this for 2 years without you. Give us child support. Put some money in my pocket and we gonna see about visitation rights. I'm working a minimum wage job and I go to school full time and we need help, and then we'll talk about it. And I think she did that the wrong way. I mean, and I hate to say, I hate to say it, but he should provide some assistance to her. But she also should be more willing, more understanding, be glad that now he wants to be a part of his son's life. I think that it is important that a child has a father more so than it is financially. So if he's going to be able to help you take care of the child, like you guys can have them 50-50, then that works out. But there's a better way. I mean, we all need child support, baby. I wish I could get some child support. I ain't never had no child support in the 21 years that my son has been on this earth, the oldest one. Then you got the 10-year-old. So I know what it is to struggle by yourself as a single mother. But I would have much preferred that their father's been active and present in their lives, if you dig what I'm saying. Like, I think it is more important than the financial part, the financial piece, because hanging with them, you would have automatically wanted to care for them. You would want to see greatness come from your kids. Okay, let me not ramble on. All of a sudden, this dude comes out the back. Honey, the girl is living with a man. He got a knife eating his apple. That's a silent threat. And so, Tiffany's all like, Emmett, just go on. Because Emmett looked like he ready. He looking like, calculating. He a little nervous, but he calculating in his head, like, how I could get my son up out of here. Because he just wanted to take his son and go. Okay. So he leaves. How's that going to end? He should probably take her to court. Last person is Ronnie. I feel sorry for Ronnie. I really do. My heart is starting to go out to Ronnie. Ronnie is in turmoil. His spirit is in turmoil. His body is in turmoil. His emotions, his mind, everything is all fucked up and in turmoil. And we see that it's coming to a head. So he wakes up. We see him at Merrick's house. I'm going to just say this. Merrick's house is so fucking nasty. You got the dude back there doing voodoo or whatever he doing to keep out the spirits. Like, I do sage and everything, but I don't know what the fuck he doing. Talking all kind of crazy shit he got going on. But the house is dirty, nasty. So he's bleeding, and Ronnie is all like, give me a pill. It's $5 a pop. Last time you said $3. Well, they $5 down. So he gets one, and Merrick notices that he's bleeding, and he's all like, oh, shit, you need a doctor. You need a doctor. So he calls the doctor. Starts yelling, Chauncey, get up out here. Like, I'm all like, do we got some hood doctor in there? Like, let me tell you, hood niggas be knowing how to do a gang of shit. Hood niggas know some of everybody. So I'm all like, who the fuck is calling him? Because, Chauncey was back there asleep. Well, Chauncey is a white man. We find out that he is a radiologist. And he is addicted to pills. Okay, before I continue, I don't know what that weird fucking conversation about the woods and the deers and the frogs and the crows. I was like, this nigga is crazy. Like, crazy. Okay. So the doctor comes out and is working on Ronnie, and he uses betadine, he uses peroxide, he puts salt in the wound and shit, and he blow dries it and puts a fucking thing back, a fucking bandage back on it. I'm all like, this is some crazy shit, but it sure didn't bleed no more, did it? He was like, your body's gonna heal itself automatically. So they laying on we see him again, and they sitting on the couch, and they talking, and Merrick is asking Ronnie what he wanted to be when he was younger. Who did you want to be? They're all talking about what they wanted to do. You wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to be a shoemaker. Why am I not? Can I not think of what is a cherub? No, that's an angel. I don't know. I can't think of what he wanted. A cobbler. Jesus, thank you. He wanted to be a cobbler, and I forgot what Merrick said that he wanted to do. He may have actually may have almost been where he wanted to be, and something happened. I guess that's what we're going to get ready to see. And that all the time, Chauncey is drinking and popping pills. We already knew Ronnie was an alcoholic, but it's shown here that he is definitely an alcoholic, and everything has been going downhill for him. All of a sudden, Chauncey overdoses. He's asleep. Ain't woke up. Nobody knows. Everybody was sleeping. And Chauncey ass overdosed. Chauncey's dead. Merrick is all, I'm calling in my favor about that gun and that phone. You need to get this body up out of here. Ronnie's all like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, what? They dragged the body out, put it into Chauncey's car, you know, and Ronnie's all like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Well, there is Chauncey's address and a picture of his family. Ronnie drives up to the house, gets out the car, blows the horn, and I guess that's Chauncey's wife or sister or somebody comes out. She's got an attitude at first. When she gets to the car, she realizes that he is dead, and you hear her cry out. There's a shrill cry coming from her voice because he's overdosed. He's in the back seat. Now, Ronnie didn't wipe his fingers off or nothing, fingerprints off or nothing, even though it was an overdose. You know, is that going to come back full circle? Everything finna come back full circle on him? So then the next thing you know, we see Ronnie go to the mosque and walks in to see Rafiq. And Rafiq, you know, is like, come on in, brother. You safe here. I like that they had Rafiq open up and tell his story about how he was 19 and a stray bullet hit a 7-year-old girl and he went to jail and he was introduced to Allah by Malik in prison. Like, I really like that because at first you saw Ronnie being very defensive. Like, I'm all like, well, what the fuck you go for if you didn't want his help, if you didn't think that he could provide some insight, some help to you? Like, pull up. You could have stayed where you were. When Rafiq opened up to Ronnie and then hugged him and told him that Allah sees everything, knows everything, he broke down with that embrace. He cries, and it's like a painful cry, and it's like, I'm glad somebody's here and understand me. My heart went out for him. We will probably see Malik become Muslim in the next few episodes or seasons. And I don't know how that's going to play with his Christian grandmother, but we're going to see all of that. Tell me, you guys, what did you think about this episode? I can't wait till the next one because I need more. I need more! Let me know down below in the comments. Listen, if it's your first time visiting, do not go anywhere without clicking the subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine, to live in your light and truth, even though you could do 100 in the shade easy with your eyes closed. Click the notification bell to be alerted of all the videos I upload. Don't forget to like the video. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review on The Chi Season 1, Episode number 8. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I will see you on the next video.